Raya yang kemudian akan dilanjutkan dengan Mars Adopsi. Tuh. Mohon kepada panitia, silakan bisa memutar ya lagu Indonesia Raya, kemudian dilanjutkan dengan Mars Adopsi. Silakan. Baik, mohon menunggu sebentar, Bapak Ibu. Nah, ini sudah ditanyakan. Ya. Mungkin suaranya belum terdengar. Bisa dilanjutkan untuk menyimak dan memutar Mars Adopsi.
Asosiasi Dosen Bahasa dan Sastra Indonesia hadir berbicara berbagi bersilaturahmi untuk berliterasi terus maju untuk NKRI. Adopsi, 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 mudah kreatif, luar biasa itu semangatnya. Bermitra untuk bangun SDM Indonesia, itu tujuannya. Cinta dan bangga bahasa Indonesia, itu semboyannya. Kolaborasi dan aksi nyata, itu langkahnya. Adopsi, adopsi, adopsi. Hadirmu dari kita, giatmu untuk kita, namamu menyinari dunia. Adopsi, bermartabat dan berjaya. Adopsi, selalu di hati selamanya.
Baik, bisa dilanjutkan dengan Mars APP BIPA.
Satukan gerak langkah untuk berkarya, bergerak serentak membangun cita, bergandeng tangan bulatkanlah tekad menuju bahasa internasional. Melalui ciptakan sumber daya profesional dalam berkarya, berdedikasi, berpacu dalam keragaman.
Aku sih Nyoni.
Baik, itu dia ketiga Mars sudah kita dengarkan. Mohon maaf Bapak Ibu hadirin sekalian atas kesalahan teknis yang terjadi. Kemudian selanjutnya mari kita simak bersama sambutan yang akan disampaikan oleh Ketua Umum Adopsi oleh Ibu Dr. Wati Istanti MPD dari Universitas Negeri Semarang. Silakan kepada Ibu Wati Istanti, kami persilahkan.
Baik, terima kasih Mbak Iftitah. Mohon izin Bapak dan Ibu. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Kebajikan. Yang terhormat pembicara dalam kuliah pakar siang ini, sahabat saya, Ibu Jing Xiao atau Ibu Krista. Selamat siang Ibu Krista. Ni hao.
Ni hao. Hello everyone.
Yang kami hormati Dewan Pertimbangan, Dewan Pakar, Pengurus Adopsi, para ketua cabang provinsi, para kolega, para guru, peserta konsorsium, teman-teman mahasiswa, dan seluruh keluarga besar adopsi maupun APP BIPA dimanapun berada. Puji syukur kehadirat Tuhan Allah yang telah memberikan nikmat sehat dan sempatnya sehingga kita masih dipertemukan meskipun secara maya dalam menebarkan kebaikan dan bersilaturahmi akademik. Bapak Ibu, keluarga besar adopsi dan APP BIPA yang selalu luar biasa, hubungan diplomatik Indonesia dan Tiongkok dimulai pada tahun 1950. Hubungan ini semakin menguat dengan adanya kerjasama di berbagai sektor seperti ekonomi, perdagangan, investasi, budaya, dan pendidikan. Hubungan diplomatik pendidikan dapat dilihat dari adanya pertukaran pelajar dan dosen, penelitian bersama, pengembangan kurikulum, dan kolaborasi dalam pendidikan vokasi. Bulan lalu, terdapat 11 dosen yang mengikuti kegiatan visiting lecture di kampus Ibu Jingjing ya, di Fujian Polytechnic Normal University. Ini juga bagian dari kegiatan Edu Wisata Adopsi dan juga APP BIPA Jawa Tengah. Ada saya pribadi sebagai pemimpin rombongan, ada Ibu Dr. Ellen Indrasari MPD dari UIN Raden Mas Said Surakarta, ada Profesor Dr. Indria Mulyaningsi MPD dari Universitas Islam Negeri Cyber Syekh Nurjati Cirebon, ada Ibu Ida Yeni Rahmawati SPD MPD dari Universitas Muhammadiyah Ponorogo, ada Ibu Agnes Erliva SS MPD dari Universitas Dianuswantoro yang nanti akan mendampingi untuk Bapak Ibu menjadi moderator pada siang hari ini. Ada Ibu Iftita Amalia Mutiara Fahmi, SSMLI, Universitas Dianuswantoro, pewara kita. Ibu Sinta Rosiana MPD dari Universitas Siliwangi Tasikmalaya. Sepertinya juga saya tadi melihat beliau hadir, Ibu Sinta. Ada Profesor Dr. Ida Yulaiha M. Hum dari Universitas Negeri Semarang. Beliau juga hadir tadi saya melihat, Prof. Ida. Ada Bapak Dr. Musyanur MPD, MC, MM dari Universitas Islam Asyadiah, Sengkang, Indonesia. Ada Bapak Dr. Eko Suroso MPD, Universitas Muhammadiyah Purwokerto, tadi juga hadir Bapak Eko, dan Ibu Aprilia Riana Putri MPD dari Universitas Islam Nadatul Ulama Jepara. So, Jingjing, actually this is the 11 Lauscher, 11 teacher visiting lecture in VPNU last month.
Oh,
Yeah, we have 11, and actually I think 11 they will come for today, and remember we'll meet you, I think. Yeah.
so nice.
Sure. Jingjim, so sorry if I using speech in Bahasa Indonesia, right?
It's okay.
Okay, thank you.
I'm your student.
Sure. Yeah, I will continue. Kegiatan visiting lecture tersebut dalam rangka mengajarkan bahasa Indonesia. Bahasa Indonesia kini telah menjadi salah satu bahasa yang memiliki daya tarik global, terbukti dengan dijadikannya bahasa Indonesia dalam sidang umum UNESCO tertanggal 20 November 2023. Di berbagai perguruan tinggi di dunia, termasuk Tiongkok, salah satunya FPNU, telah memiliki jurusan bahasa Indonesia. Tahun kedua Bapak Ibu, jadi 2023 FPNU sudah mendirikan jurusan bahasa Indonesia. Maka dari itu, sekarang ada 6 mahasiswa dari FPNU yang mengikuti kegiatan kredit transfer di program studi pendidikan bahasa dan sastra Indonesia dan program studi sastra Indonesia di Universitas Negeri Semarang. Hal itu menjadi bagian dari implementasi adanya jalinan kerjasama antara Indonesia, Tiongkok, khususnya bidang pendidikan bahasa Indonesia. Selain hal itu, kita juga harus melihat bagaimana motivasi para pembelajar, metode pengajaran yang digunakan hingga tantangan yang mereka hadapi. Hal tersebut diharapkan menjadi dasar bagi peningkatan kualitas pengajaran bahasa Indonesia, baik di dalam maupun di luar negeri. Untuk itu, Adopsi dan APP BIPA Jawa Tengah menyelenggarakan kuliah pakar dengan tajuk Survey and Research on Indonesian Language Learning Among Chinese Students Studying Indonesian Language in China. Langsung didatangkan narasumber dari Fakultas Politeknik Negeri University ya, ini Fakultas Politeknik Universitas Politeknik yang ada di Tiongkok, dan beliau yang menjadi narasumber adalah Vice Dean atau Wakil Dekan di bagian internasional atau di bagian secara mancanegara. Dalam kesempatan kali ini ada 3 program studi konsorsium Bapak Ibu yang mengikuti. Yang pertama, program studi Magister Pendidikan Bahasa Indonesia FKIP Universitas Muhammadiyah Bengkulu. Terima kasih Ibu Eli. Yang kedua, Program Studi Pendidikan Bahasa dan Sastra Indonesia, STKIP PGRI Trenggalek, ada Ibu Irma. Yang ketiga, Program Studi Magister Pendidikan Bahasa dan Sastra Indonesia, Universitas Lambung Mangkurat. Dalam kesempatan ini, korespondensi dengan Prof. Rusma. Kami mengucapkan terima kasih kepada Ibu Jingsao yang telah berkenan akan berbagi pengalaman dan praktik baiknya. Kami juga terima kasih kepada para Dewan Pakar maupun Dewan Pertimbangan, pengurus, panitia, ketua cabang provinsi, keluarga besar adopsi dan APP BIPA, tim konsorsium, para guru, rekan mahasiswa, dan para hadirin yang telah berkenan bergabung dalam silaturahmi akademik ini. Kami mohon maaf apabila ada kesalahan teknis ataupun penyelenggaraan yang kurang berkenan. Semoga kita semua dilimpahkan keberkahan dan selalu menebarkan kebaikan-kebaikan. Pada akhirnya, atas nama keluarga besar adopsi dan APP BIPA Jawa Tengah, kami mengucapkan selamat bersilaturahmi akademik dan menyimak dengan saksama kuliah pakar yang akan disampaikan oleh Ibu Jing Xiao. Sebagai penutup, saya akan menutup dengan pantun. So, Jing Jing, usually in Indonesia, after speech, we close with stanza. Like stanza is pantun, we can call pantun. Ya. Hari Senin penuh ekspresi,
Cakep,
membaca hujan dengan aksara.
cakep,
Dari Tiongkok datang membawa motivasi belajar bahasa Indonesia dengan gembira.
cakep.
Ubur-ubur ikan
Cakep.
lele kuliah pakar hari ini pancen oye. Dan sebagai penutup Bapak Ibu, saya akan sampaikan seperti biasa jargon adopsi, yaitu apabila nanti saya menyampaikan adopsi, mohon Bapak Ibu berkenan untuk bersama-sama. Jing Jing, I think you can join. If
can
I
share
said,
my
yeah,
screen.
if I said adopsi,
Ya,
you can say muda.
mudah.
Ya, muda is young. Ya. And then kreatif is creative. Ya. And then luar biasa is excellent. Ya.
Oke.
Lalu tepuk tangan and smile. Ya. Ya, senyum. Ya, dan dari Ketua Umum Senior Profesor Dr. Muhammad Rohmadi, senyum itu 228, 2 ke kanan, 2 ke kiri, dan mengembang 8 detik. So you smile is like 2 seconds right and the 2 seconds for the left, and then you can smile is 8 seconds.
I smile
Oke.
all the time.
Iya. Lalu saya akan melanjutkan dengan BIPA. Bapak Ibu, ketika mendengar BIPA kita bersama-sama selalu di hati. Ya. Jadi adopsi selalu muda, selalu kreatif dan luar biasa, dan BIPA akan selalu di hati. Kita akan bersama-sama Bapak Ibu, and please Jing Show, you can follow ya. Oke. Adopsi muda,
Mudah.
kreatif, luar biasa. BIPA selalu di hati. Oke, baik, terima kasih Bapak Ibu, terima kasih untuk semuanya. Saya akhiri, billahi taufiq walhidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam
wabarakatuh.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wah, luar biasa sekali ya sambutannya oleh Ibu Dr. Wati ini ya. Beliau ini selalu ceria ya. Baik, terima kasih kepada Ibu Dr. Wati Istanti, MPD atas sambutan yang telah disampaikan. Hadirin yang kami hormati, acara berikutnya adalah acara penyerahan sertifikat kepada Ibu narasumber, kemudian kepada Ibu moderator, ya, juga kepada prodi peserta konsorsium yang mungkin akan diserahkan langsung oleh Ibu Dr. Wati Istanti, MPD. Silakan, kami persilakan. Untuk penerima prodi peserta konsorsium dulu atau narasumber J? Oh, narasumbernya.
Narasumber dulu.
Oh iya. Baik, silakan kepada panitia bisa menayangkan sertifikat Ibu Cincing.
Now it's my turn now.
Wait for
You
the
can
moment.
wait a minute. Okay.
Hmm. Oke, sebentar. Sebentar deh. Oke. So, Jing Xiao, the Honorable, I give you the certificate. Yeah. I'm so sorry in bahasa Indonesia, of course, ya. For you, maybe for a language. Sebagai pembicara is speaker dalam kuliah pakar yang bertajuk. This is your title seminar. Ya. Senin, Monday, tanggal 3 November 2025, Ketua Umum Adopsi. Mohon bisa diterima Ibu Jing Xiao. Please, this is for you, by virtual. Okay.
Okay, thank you. So now I
Okay.
can share my screen.
Sorry?
Can I share my screen or wait?
Yes, after we finish for the share the certificate first. Now for you.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ibu Jingjing. Kemudian yang
Okay.
kedua untuk siapa?
Selamat
Kemudian
siang.
selanjutnya untuk Ibu Moderator Agnes Erliva,
Sebentar ya, ini kita akan
mungkin saya bantu. Oh, sudah.
iya.
Oh,
Oke.
Ibu Cincing, mohon maaf, kami sedang eh, boleh di stop. Can you stop share your
Okay.
screen first?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Because we still have for give certificate, giving certificate
Okay.
for moderator.
Oh,
Ibu
Oh, I'm
Wati,
so
boleh saya
surprised
bantu
that I
mungkin?
get the certificate before the thing's conducted. Thank you for this.
Sebentar. Sorry. Mbak Tita atau Mbak Agnes bisa nih. Saya belum unduh ini.
Baik, sebentar.
I don't get any access to share the screen. So probably Mbak Tita.
Oh, Mbak Agnes nggak tuh? Udah co-host ya.
Why I didn't realize that you made me a co-host for this.
Saya sudah jadikan co-host itu.
Oh yeah.
Wait, it's for confused. Saya sudah. Oke, Mbak Tita di konsorsiumnya aja. Baik, yang berikutnya saya akan memberikan sertifikat kepada
Thank you
Ibu
for
Agnes
this.
Erliva ya sebagai moderator dalam kuliah pakar bertajuk Survey and Research on Indonesian Language Learning among Chinese Students Studying Indonesian Language in China. Semoga berkenan untuk menerima sertifikat dari
Ibu Wati.
adopsi. Iya.
I'm so surprised for this one because it usually at the end of the event, and for this time it's earlier.
Ya, karena kita harus persiapan karena ini di awal. Jadi sebelum bekerja sudah kita berikan sertifikatnya. Mohon berkenan untuk menerima. Saya
Yeah, thank
izin
you.
tangkap layar dulu ya. Baik, terima kasih. Dan selanjutnya kita ada 3 sertifikat konsorsium, Ibu Tita mungkin bisa dibantu ya.
Baik,
Yang
selanjutnya
pertama, Ibu Eli.
ya,
Sebentar
untuk
saya,
program studi Magister Pendidikan Bahasa Indonesia FKIPUM Bengkulu,
yes, Ibu
silakan
Eli. I will
dipersilahkan.
spotlight.
Iya,
Sebentar, Ibu Eli dengan sertifikatnya. Jing Jing, 3 minutes again ya. Sorry, this is like the
It's
ceremony.
okay. It's okay. I enjoy it.
Sudah, Mbak Tita? Baik ya. Baik, atas nama Adopsi dan APP BIPA Jawa Tengah, kami berikan dengan hormat kepada Program Studi Magister Pendidikan Bahasa Indonesia FKIP Universitas Muhammadiyah Bengkulu yang akan diterima oleh Ibu Eli Rustina selaku Kaprodi. Izin untuk menangkap layar, Ibu. Mohon diterima. Bisa dibuka, speakernya boleh, Ibu?
pelantangnya belum dinyalakan, Ibu.
Iya.
Baik,
Iya,
terima kasih. Adopsi selalu di hati.
Adopsi selalu di
adopsi selalu
hati
di
ya.
hati.
Baik, izin tangkap layar. Baik, terima kasih Ibu Eli.
Baik, untuk selanjutnya, untuk program studi Pendidikan Bahasa dan Sastra Indonesia, Universitas STKIP PGRI Trenggalek.
No, it's wrong.
Silakan Ibu Wati.
Yes, wait.
Kasih.
Saya spotlight first. Ya, baik. Yang berikutnya kami serahkan dengan hormat juga kepada Program Studi Pendidikan Bahasa dan Sastra Indonesia STKIP PGRI Trenggalek yang menjadi peserta konsorsium yang diterima oleh Kaprodi juga Ibu Irma. Mohon berkenan untuk menerima Ibu Irma. Saya izin tangkap layar.
Terima kasih, Bunda.
Sama-sama. Terima kasih. Dan terakhir, Mbak Tita.
Untuk yang terakhir, berikutnya, ya, untuk program studi Magister Pendidikan Bahasa dan Sastra Indonesia, Universitas
Prof. Rusma, diterima Prof. Rusma atau Kaprodinya, Prof?
Prodi,
Prof. Rusma?
Ya.
Ya, Prof. Rusma ya, baik. Ya, kami juga menyerahkan dengan hormat sertifikat untuk program studi Magister Pendidikan Bahasa dan Sastra Indonesia Universitas Lambung Mangkurat. Diterima oleh Prof. Rusma Nurtiani. Izin tangkap layar, Prof. Oke, terima kasih, Prof.
Terima kasih Bu Ketum.
Sama-sama. Sampun, Mbak Tita, bisa
Ya,
dilanjutkan.
baik. Em, Kami ucapkan selamat kepada narasumber Ibu Cincing, kemudian kepada Ibu Moderator, Ibu Agnes Erlifa, serta kepada Prodi peserta konsorsium atas sertifikat yang telah diterima. Baik, Bapak Ibu yang berbahagia, sebelum kita memasuki acara inti pada hari ini, mungkin akan kita abadikan momen berharga ini dulu ya, Ibu Wating ya, atau mau di akhir sesi, atau sekarang?
Sekarang dulu.
Oh iya, baik. Kepada seluruh peserta, mohon kesediaannya untuk menyalakan kamera. Silakan. Baik, izin saya tangkap layar. Karena ini ada 6 slide ya, Bapak Ibu. Mohon bisa apa ya, tersenyum untuk waktu yang lama sebentar ya.
Begini Mbak Tita, ini apa?
Oh iya,
BIPA di
baik.
hati, adopsi di hati. Nah, kita
Adopsi di
gabungkan ya.
hati ya. Sebentar. Satu, dua. Baik, layar pertama. Untuk layar kedua. Silakan Bapak Ibu bisa menyalakan
Ya, Jing
kameranya.
Jing Shao, this is the symbol for the take a picture.
Satu, dua. Lagi. Satu, dua. Satu, dua. Bentar. Baik, cukup. Baik, ya, kini tiba saatnya Bapak Ibu hadirin sekalian, yaitu sesi yang kita tunggu-tunggu ya, yaitu sesi pemaparan materi oleh narasumber kami yang kita yang sangat luar biasa ini ya, Ibu Ching Xiao. Silahkan Ibu Ching Xiao yang kemudian tentu saja diskusi hari ini akan dipandu oleh moderator kita, Ibu Agnes Erlifa. Beliau adalah koordinator lembaga bahasa di Udinus, nih. Kepada Ibu Agnes Erlifa serta Ibu Ching Ching, waktu dan layar kami persilakan.
Terima kasih Bu Tita atas kesempatan yang diberikan. Baik, selamat siang dan salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Yang terhormat Ketua Umum Adopsi dan Ketua APP DIPA Jateng, Ibu Wati Istanti. Dan yang sama-sama kita hormati, Bapak Ibu dosen, para mahasiswa, serta seluruh hadirin yang telah bergabung dalam acara kuliah pakar pada siang hari ini. Puji syukur kita panjatkan kehadirat Allah karena rahmat karunia-Nya kita dapat berkumpul dalam acara kuliah pakar yang bertajuk Survey and Research on Language Learning among Chinese Students Studying Indonesian Language in China. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Ibu Wati, the distinguished lecturers, researchers, students, and all participants. Praise to God Almighty for His grace that we can gather here today for this public lecture titled Survey and Research on Language Learning Among Chinese Students Studying Indonesian Language in China. I'm Agnes Erlifa. I'm happy to be the moderator for our keynote speaker for today's public lecture. Hadirin yang berbahagia, narasumber kita pada siang hari ini adalah Ibu Jing Xiao, PhD. Beliau adalah Wakil Dekan di Fakultas Bahasa dan Sastra, Fujian Polytechnic Normal University. We are honored to have an outstanding speaker with us today, Ibu Jing Xiao, PhD, a researcher and lecturer specializing in linguistics and Indonesian language education for foreign speakers. She has conducted numerous studies related to Indonesian language learning in China, exploring aspects such as students' motivations, learning strategies, and challenges in mastering Indonesian language. Further about her CV, she is the Vice Dean with 21 years at Fujian Polytechnic Normal University, excelling in language learning, in language teaching and research. She has proven her ability to enhance students' learning through innovative methods. She has skills in supervising master students and organizing double degree programs while fostering strong communications and interpersonal relationships. She also committed to advancing educational excellence in diverse environment. She completed her Bachelor of Arts English Education in 2004 in Fujian Normal University, Fuzhou, Fujian, China. She also completed her Master of Arts Foreign Linguistics and Applied Linguistics in 2010. Then she completed her PhD, Education's Management in Cavite State University, Philippines in 2024. Among all those numerous skills, she conducts research focusing mainly on language teaching, pragmatics, and overseas Chinese, supervisor for master students in teaching Chinese as a foreign language, and she is also supervisor for master students in English translations, and she also organizes double degree program, 2+2 dual degree program. Untuk itu, tidak berpanjang lebar, marilah kita sambut narasumber kita siang ini, Ibu Jing Xiao. Now, we would like to invite Mrs. Jing Xiao to deliver her presentations. The time allocated for these sessions is approximately 45 minutes. The time is yours, Ibu Jing Xiao.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy and thanks for adopting and for Ibu Wati's invitation. It's a great pleasure to be here to share some findings and reflections under the topic. Maybe I should share my screen first. So the topic this afternoon is about the survey and research on Indonesian language learning among Chinese students studying Indonesian language in China. Before I begin, I'd like to clarify that all the data and observations I'm presenting today are drawn from real classroom experiences and informal surveys conducted among second and the third year of Chinese university students majoring in Indonesian, as well as their instructors. And I think the goal today of this lecture is not to generalize or criticize, but to discuss as colleagues, as friends, how we can better understand Chinese learners' linguistic behavior and support them in mastering the Indonesian language. So our study, therefore, explore three questions. The first one is, what specific linguistic difficulties Chinese students face? And the second one is, what cognitive and affective factors influence their learning? And the last one, that is for our teachers. How should we improve them? Actually, I think if you come to China every year, come to my school every year, the problem can be solved, can be well solved. Just like last time, you come here and I meet some of you in the hotel lobby. Okay, you give great help to our students. So today I'm going to cover 6 parts, but I think let's begin with a brief background. In recent years, Indonesian language program in Chinese university has increased, expanded rapidly, thanks to the close China-Indonesian relations, the Belt and Road Initiative, and growing trade and cultural exchanges. However, even with the increase in enrollment and the economic drivers, we find that the quantity and quantity are traveling with different carriages. Maybe the employer, they just complain, well, the students, they cannot speak the Bahasa Indonesian very well, and they are too shy to say something. So I think we need to discuss, we need to help them how to learn Bahasa Indonesian. And here, to understand the learning process, we must first understand learners. Students believe that they saw that their initial impressions of the languages maybe it's easy. Why? Because in China, they learned English when they were primary school students. And they say, wow, Indonesian language, it is also alphabet, and maybe I can learn it very well, very easy. But finally, after 3 months study, they find out it is really very hard for them to learn. Why? So I think there is some problems we need to take into consideration. To understand the process, we must first understand the learners. And maybe you have heard about that. And now we have 6 students in Ibu Wadis University. And you will find that my students, they are too shy to open their mouths. They are too shy to say something. It's not their characters. It is because the educational model in China. Chinese students, they tend to be visual and rule-oriented learners. They often seek clear grammar rules and structured exercises. When they want to study something, the first question they ask, what is the rule? And I will follow the rule, okay? And reflecting the way they were trained in English or Chinese grammar. At the same time, they tend to be exam-oriented. So you will find that their grades, their scores are high, but actually their communicative competence is, is not satisfied. These characters explained why Chinese students often perform well in written grammar tests, but struggle with listening and spontaneous speaking. And based on the findings, we will say that Chinese students' difficulty in learning Indonesian can be grouped into 4 main categories. And now let's go through these one by one. The first one is phonetic and pronunciation hurdles. Although Indonesian phonetics looks simple, many sounds don't exist in Chinese. For instance, this one. I can still read this one very well. I'm the student of Dari. Ibu Wadi. I learned Indonesian for 1 month. But this is the one I cannot pronounce it in a correct way. Why? Because Mandarin, that is the Chinese, doesn't have this sound, and students need targeted muscle and vibration training. They also confused the voice and voiceless pairs, such as but. For example, this one, a Chinese student will read it as batu, but not batu. Because in Chinese, B and T, this one, T, batu, we read it as T, tu. But in Bahasa Indonesian, it read as D, batu. It is quite different, and it is really hard for students to read it. Especially this one, jalan. Jalan, like jalan. They're totally different. But for our students, this is really very, very hard for them to distinguish. Because in China, it has a very clear line, the difference between T and P and B, T and D. And this is the one I think we have to take it into consideration. It is challenging. And then the second one is the ending sounds and rhythm. You know, the ending sounds in China, this is another big issue. In Chinese, syllables rarely end with a closed stop sound. So students tend to over-release or omit them. For example, this one, we just read it as saki. Actually, the first impression for them is saki, not saki. And if they know this is saki, but it's usually omit. Okay. And in addition, Indonesian has its own rhythm and stress pattern. Stress usually falls on the second to last syllable, but Chinese students read syllables evenly, producing a flat mechanical rhythm. And teachers should emphasize here, you should emphasize the rhythm drills and shadowing practice to build natural prosody. Another one, that is the listening comprehension. This is where phonetic weakness shows most clearly. Many students mentally translate what they hear into Chinese or pinyin. Pinyin, it is just like a way you know how to read Chinese. It is also in alphabet, but the reading way is totally different. And they turn to the pinyin before understanding, slow processing, and causes them to miss meanings. Moreover, natural Indonesian speech includes liaisons and reduction and affixes. So these sounds are very different from textbook forms. Suggested training includes dictations, intensive listening with short news clips, and shadowing exercises, repeating immediately after native audio. Immersive exposure through songs, dramas, and podcasts also help learners to build ear familiarity with authentic rhythm. And the most frequent grammar issue is word order interference from Chinese. And this one, Java or not. Actually, in Chinese, modifier come before nouns. For example, Javanese person, and we say Javanese person, but if we translate into English, that is the Java. But this is the correct one, right? And for Chinese, it is really very hard to change this pattern. It is a kind of thinking pattern because they are monotone, and even their English, they read it in this way. So they also tend to misplace the pronouns and possessives. These errors show how students unconsciously transfer their first language pattern to Indonesian. And next, we see persistent confusion between tidak and bukan. Although both is no or not, they apply to different grammatical categories. When students fail to distinguish them, the teacher must compare the logic of the negation caused Chinese, English, and Indonesian. Just Chinese and Indonesian is not enough because all the Chinese students from the primary school, they learn English and English grammar come into their mind before the Indonesian grammar. And the Indonesian's rich system of prefixes and suffixes is another challenge. Students often have difficulties distinguish all these. They might write it in this way, and many also misuse the passive construction when the agent is the first or second person. So teachers should provide repeated contrastive drills and highlights that Indonesian passive are pragmatic. They reflect politeness and focus, not just grammar. And this is quite important because for Chinese students, they learn something by rules. They don't take the pragmatic into consideration. Why I use it in this way? You don't know why it's satisfied. They just use I satisfy. So this is also have the same problem in the English and the language problem. They have the same. And this one, the word young is one of the most essential yet confusing particles. It introduced descriptive clauses like the person who do something or the things that. Chinese students often drop it completely because in Chinese, adjectives can directly modify noun. We don't need the word young, we don't need that. They might say, saya suka film duku instead of saya suka film yang duku. My poor Bahasa Indonesian, sorry. Using visual sentence maps, the sentence maps can really help students grasp how these sentence, how the functions, how the young functions as a bridge between the noun and its description. And the preposition, Indonesian preposition such as di, ge, and dalam also cause confusion. Chinese has preposition too, but their logic is quite different. For instance, this one, di rumah means at home, while dalam rumah means inside the house. You don't know the difference between at home and inside the house because in China, at home and inside the house, in Chinese, it is the same meaning. 在家, they have just one saying, and they cannot distinguish the differences. Many students use them interchangeably. missing subtle distinctions in special or abstract meaning. And explicit teaching through real life context, I think is quite important. So that's why we encourage our students to go to Indonesia, to enjoy to as an exchange students, to learn the language to speak to the native speakers, to learn the language. I think their language will be pure and their language will be beautiful and smooth. Okay. So we have to clarify this usage to the students, or they really very hard to distinguish for themselves. And many Chinese students memorize words. You know, in China, how do we learn the vocabulary? We just write it down. We write it down for 10 or twice or 20 times, and then I know these words. This is the Chinese way to learn the vocabulary. So they memorize words mechanically without context. They often depend on digital dictionaries or AI translator to get meaning quickly. And this leads to the passive vocabulary. They recognize words, but they cannot use them. To overcome this, I think vocabulary should be learned in thematic clusters and sentences. They have to read a lot of articles. But in China, actually, it is really very hard for our students or even for our teachers to get the materials of Indonesia. Yes, because the internet, the blocks between China and outside world, and sometimes it is very hard to read more language. But in my school, it's very lucky because we have a library sponsored by Lin Yanxing. I don't know his Indonesia's name, but he donate a library, and in the library we have a lot of information. Have a lot of books in English. So, to overcome this, I think vocabulary should be learned in thematic clusters, as we say, not as isolated words. And teachers can design tasks like describe your weekend using 5 new words, forcing contextual usage. So context, I think, is quite important for us. And this is also my challenge. I still remember last time, maybe 5 years ago, or even younger, and people wanted to tell us how to read the words, and oh my God, it's too difficult for us to read it. So Indonesian number expressions are long and difficult for Chinese students, and students often freeze when translating large number during the interpretation practice. Frequent oral drills, especially in real-life contexts, like prices, years, can build automatically. Actually, I teach the overseas students Chinese. I find the same problems because they're from different country. They have their way of reading the numbers, and when they read Chinese, I find that it is really very fascinating. But I find interesting things. When I have a table, and then I will say which line and which column, and then they have to speak in Chinese the numbers, and then gradually they practice them well. So I think if we teach number and we don't just teach them what's this is sadu, dia, tiga, I think we had better use some context to tell them what's this, to practice them. And then we'll find that this is a part of them. This is not a vocabulary language. You have to spend your energy memorizing them, okay? And also, another interesting challenge is model sound and online abbreviation. Chinese students may know formal Indonesian, that is what I say, the textbook Bahasa Indonesian, but feel lost on social media. for the English medium student, the Japanese student. They read the Japanese, they read the article very well, but when they go to when they on social media, they find what's this? They understand each word maybe, but they just don't know the whole sentence, what does it mean. So we have to encourage students to follow Indonesian influencers, read common threads, or discuss needs can greatly improve their grammatical awareness. Language is living, and mastering the informal register helps them sound more natural and culturally connected. And from a cognitive perspective, many Chinese students, they lack self-directed learning habits. Chinese students is famous for their diligence in working and learning. You know, my students from Indonesia come to me and say, wow, Miss Xiao Crystal, I find Chinese students, they work really very, very hard. They work the whole days. They stay in the university for whole days. They can go to the classroom 6 a.m. in the morning, and then they go back to their dorm at 10 p.m. They cannot understand. But I told them, because in China, you have to face a very fierce competition, and everyone live in this way. So in our primary school, our secondary school, even our higher education, many of our students, they relied on teachers' instructions. Actually, the critical thinking, in my opinion, they are lack of the critical thinking. They don't know why I have to use it in this way. They just know this is the rule. I have to follow the rule. If I follow the rule, and then I can achieve some kind of academic achievements. So I think when no assignment is given, they tend not to review on their own. So exercise, assignment, task is a must for the Chinese students. And this pattern, this kind of teacher dependency stems from traditional Chinese schooling, where education is authority-centered. To address this, teachers can use the project-based learning. Today, in modern China, we also have a revolution for the teaching. Before, we have a teacher-centered, that is, teachers say, and all the students, they just listen. And then they go back home to do the homework, and then the practice, they do drills, and then they just have tests. But today in China, we find that this is not the essence of their education. And we also have a group work. We also give students tasks, we give them program, and then they have to finish it themselves. I think this is good. Another one, that is the motivation. The motivation plays a huge role. Some students study Indonesian only because they were assigned to the major. My school, that is 2 years ago, our school applied for the Bahasa Indonesian major. And this is the first time in our province we have this major. And some of the students, they don't, when they came to my school, and then they told me, they don't choose this subject, they don't choose this major, but it is because their score is much lower than the requirement, and this major is a new major. And then many of the students, they don't know what's this, and they don't know whether they have opportunities, whether they can succeed in their career. So they just give up. They don't choose this major. And my students say that they choose this one just because they were assigned to the major, not by personal choice. But the second year, things are totally different. The students came to this major are those students who with a very, very high scores of Gaokao, that is their entrance of their university. And as a result, their learning tend to be passive. However, when they begin to understand Indonesian music, cuisine, or travel culture, their motivation rises sharply. We have an Indonesian festival every year in my school, and all the Indonesian students will come to the Fuzhou, all the province. The students will come to my schools, and we will celebrate this festival. And then my Chinese students find out, wow, the Indonesian, this major is quite happy. They are a happy major because the overseas students, they singing, they dancing, and then they say, I still remember the dance. Is it the salam? I don't know the name. It's just this one, and all the students, they like it very much, and they say, wow, this major is quite interesting. At that time, many of my students, they change their mind, and they find out, well, I choose a major who can give me a future. Because in Fuqing, we have a the twin parks. That is what we say, the Chinese, Indonesian, two parks located in Fuqing, just near my school, my university. They find out they have the motivation to study, and then they communicate with their foreign teachers. We have 2 foreign teachers, and also we have Salon from all of you, and Ibu Wadi came to our school several times and give us a lot of classes and lectures. I think my students enjoy such kind of education. So therefore, integrating cultural experiences, such as food tasting, even my daughter, she likes the Indonesian fast noodle very well. If my student every time come back to China will bring me a pack of the fast noodle. The fast noodle, all Chinese like it very well. And also, I think the cultural misunderstanding also affect learning. Misunderstanding. For instance, Indonesian communication tends to be polite, indirect, and warm, while Chinese communication can be more straightforward. This is the biggest difference between my Indonesian students and the students of Chinese students who study Indonesian. I still remember the first time we have the Indonesian festival, and then all these two kinds of students, I mean the overseas students and the Chinese students, they play on the platform together. But sometimes they find out it is very hard for them to communicate. Why? Because for those overseas students, they are too polite. They are indirect. They usually speak in a direct way. They didn't say no directly. And the Chinese students find out it is very hard to know the real meaning of what they say. So without understanding these cultural differences, students may translate literally, but sound impolite or awkward. Actually, just now, like me, when I speak English, I'm an English major student. So when I speak English, I just know I conveyed my meaning. But actually, I don't know whether my listener, they are comfortable or not. They can understand what I really want to say. I don't know. So this is what I said. Usually, we need to give them more role play, such as greeting the elders, refusing offers, or making small talks to teach grammatic norms alongside grammar. So grammar cannot be taught just independently. And then, so one effective method is constructive analysis. This helps learners see differences in structure, logic, and expression. For example, showing how young functions like let, who in English, but unlike the in Chinese clarify its position and meaning. So the key is not to avoid comparison, but to use it consciously. So conclude To conclude, I think Chinese students learning Indonesian face challenges at multiple levels: phonetics, grammatical, lexical, cognitive, and culture. But these challenges are not obstacles. They are opportunities for deeper understanding. And as educator, I think our role is not only to teach rules, but to spark curiosity, empathy, and communication across cultures. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. And I truly look forward to exchange insights with all of you. Thank you.
Wow, great. Thank you very much, Mrs. Jing Xiao, for the insightful and very informative presentations about the profile and motivations, about phonetic hurdle happened to students there, grammar and syntax issues, to cultural, and your explanations is very clear there. Terima kasih kami ucapkan kepada Ibu Jing Xiao atas pemaparan yang sangat menarik, inspiratif ya. Selanjutnya kita akan memasuki sesi tanya jawab bagi para peserta, Bapak Ibu dan para hadirin yang ingin mengajukan pertanyaan. Kami persilahkan untuk mengangkat tangan atau menuliskannya di kolom chat. Mohon dapat menyebutkan nama dan asal instansi sebelum menyampaikan pertanyaan. We'll now proceed for question and answer sessions. Then participants who would like to ask questions may raise their hands and write the questions in a chat box. You may write through chat box, or otherwise you can also directly ask to our keynote speaker. Please kindly mention your name and institutions before delivering your questions. Ibu Jing Xiao, we directly have several questions here. The first questions directed by Muhammad Farid Rizki from UNIP. Let me read his text. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Farid Rizki, students from University of Bengkulu, Indonesia. I'm very interested and enthusiastic, especially the field of teaching Indonesian as foreign language, PIPA. There are two questions from Mas Farid. The first questions, based on your survey results, what factors most influence the motivations of Chinese students in learning the Indonesian language? Cultural, economic, or diplomatic relations between the two countries? That's his first questions. And then for second questions, according to your findings, what are your main recommendations for PIPA teachers to make Indonesian language learning in China more engaging, relevant, and effective in the future?
Thank you.
Is that okay for you directly answer, or we open several questions?
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Thank you for your question. Thank you for your question.
Yeah, okay.
Now, as to the first question, I think that
Yeah.
economic factors tend to have the strongest influence. As we say, the modification. What is the modification? All the students, they learn such kind of Chinese, the Bahasa Indonesian, because they want to do business, they want to trade, they want to go to the company. And so economic factors, I think the economic motivations are the primary driver. And diplomatic relations, of course, they can give us serve as an external enabler. In cultural interests act as sustaining factors that depends engaging over time. So I don't know whether my answer can satisfy or can give you some hints. And as to the second questions, I think to make Indonesian learning in China more engaging and effective. So I think the teachers, just like you, should connect language to life, integrate culture, creatively, and leverage digital and task-based pedagogy. That is what I say, the living language. Just like what I say, textbook language and living language and language in life, the daily language, they are totally different. So this can ensure that student can find both immediate relevance and lasting meaning in their learning. Or I learned something from the textbook, and this is the way I know about the knowledge. But when I face an Indonesian, and I found that I totally cannot have a communication with him or her, you will feel frustrated. So I think give the students a chance to know the real life language. I think this is the best way to solve all the problems. Okay.
Nah, itu jawaban dari Ibu Jing Xiao untuk pertanyaan dari Pak Muhammad Farid ya. For the first questions, for the question says, what factors most influence the motivations? She explained that beliau menyampaikan ya bahwa alasan ekonomi, the economic factor is the first background for them to choose studying bahasa. And then for the second, untuk yang kedua ya dengan mengajak para siswa itu lebih mengenal dengan budaya bahasanya gitu. Okay. Any other questions?
Ibu Agnes, can I raise a question, please?
Yes,
Sure.
please.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, I'm Irma Kesalia from Patimura University, and I'm very interested in the presentation of Dr. Jim Xiao. So I would like to ask, so the student who taking the Indonesian class, are they coming from the same study program, or they are coming from different study programs because they have different objectives? Yeah, probably they would like to work in different factories, or they just want to be a diplomat. So why I'm asking this question? So this is also like we can see the future of the collaboration, in this case for Patimura University, that we might not just focus for the Bahasa Indonesia and Sastra study programs, but we might also see the opportunity to open the collaboration with other study programs. But then the main things is Bahasa Indonesia. So what do you think about that one, Dr. Jin?
Okay, thank you for your question. Recently we used the exchange students. Just now you asked me, do you remember my students, what is their object to study the Bahasa Indonesian, right? Yes. Yeah. And just like what I say, because the location, our university located in Fuqing, and Fuqing has a park, industrial park, that is those Indonesian companies, they come to China to do the business, and then they focus in this park, and this park near our school. Also, in Fuqing, we have a lot of companies and industry, they want to go abroad, go to Indonesia, but they are Chinese. They don't know, their English is not very well, and even they know the English, they find that English is not enough in Indonesian. They're better to know the Bahasa Indonesian. So our students, I could say maybe more than 90% of them, their career will be they have to do their business. So they focus on the business, the trading. And just like what you say, whether there is a way to bridge the two universities, for example, your university and my university, and even your university and any university in our school. So it did, besides the Bahasa Indonesian students, we also have some other kind of majors. For example, as food, the food, and then they have their AI, and I don't know, they also have a biology engineering and a lot, and their tourism, and all these students, they would like to learn Bahasa Indonesian. Why? Because they find their career, their future has something to do with this. Because just like what I say, if they want to stay in Fujian, they want to enter into that kind of company. Those company are big company. So if you think maybe just like Ibu Wadi give us an opportunity, give our students an opportunity to exchange, maybe exchange program, the exchange students or even the teachers can be the starters of the cooperation. And moreover, just like what I say, we have a 2+2 program. What's that? That is your students, for example, the first year, you enroll the students to your university, and the students was supposed to finish the 4 years study in your school, but actually he or she just finished the 2 year, another 2 year in my school. And then when they graduate, when they finish the 4 school study, they get both universities certificate. Yeah, I think this is also another way to find a cooperation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Demikian
you.
Ibu Irma. Ada pertanyaan lanjutan ya Bu Irma? Menarik sekali itu yang dual degree program 2+2.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, this time maybe we planned to go to Indonesia, but we are looking for cooperation with the Chinese, the School of Chinese, the Chinese department. Yes, because some of the students, they study Chinese in Indonesia, in the University of Indonesia, and then they want to practice their Chinese, and then they come to China another 2 years. And when they finish the 4 year study, they get both the certificate from your university and my university. Yeah.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Yeah. Okay. That's the answer from Ibu Jinjiang for Ibu Irma Kesaulia questions, yeah? And I also found some informative, which is very what's that, interesting in here about the dual degree program, even though in the university I work, there is no Mandarin study program, but we do have a Japanese study program. And then I heard that in Fujian Polytechnic, a normal university also has Japanese study program. Am I right?
Right. We have Japanese major.
Okay. Perhaps in the future, we can also collaborate on that part. But continuing question and answer session, perhaps other participants would like to deliver their questions. You may just convey your questions. You may directly on your microphone or raise hand first and then mention your name and affiliations and start delivering the questions. Oh, here one questions from Ibu Nimas Harum. I'm a student from student. Mbak ya. In here
Yes,
they
I
call
find
her
it.
Mbak Nimas Harum. I'm a student from Universitas PGRI Jombang. In the context of cultural research collaborations, what non-technical challenges often arise and must be overcome by researchers from Indonesia and China besides language?
Thank you. A good question, but it is also a big question.
Yeah.
Yeah, besides the language barriers, just as we say, language is not language itself. It has a lot of backgrounds. So researchers, I think, in my opinion, I think researchers from Indonesia and China, they often face another four main non-technical challenges. All what we have discussed today, it is about the language itself. That is the technical problems of language. But besides this, I think there are some differences in academic culture and research norms. For example, Chinese researchers may emphasize collective goals, hierarchical or coordination, and institutional procedures, just like what we say, 2+2 program. And Indonesian scholars often value personal relationship, flexibility, and consensus building. These constructing expectations can affect the decision making. I think this is quite, how do you say, quite important because recently I invite some youth from Indonesia to China to my school to, how do you say, to have a 10 days experience of China. And I find that there in China, if we how to say it is not a problem of the rules, I think. It is a problem of flexibility because all Indonesian, my guests, my friends, I think they are happy. They find a comfortable way also in both at work and in life. But in China, it is different. Also, the communication styles and work habit, they're different. Chinese teams, they may communicate in a more direct, task-oriented way, just like what I say. We have a program and then we do the cooperation. It is not because we are friends, we do the cooperation. It is because there's a need, there's a requirement, and then I have to do it, and then I do it, and then I find a cooperation, I find a friend. It is different. And misunderstanding can occur if one side perceives the other as too abrupt or too vague. So another one is the institutional and the bureaucratic differences. Time, the conscious of time is also different. And then the last one is, I think, is the cultural values and sensitivities in research topics. Researchers must learn to interpret cultural data respectfully within each other's social and moral frameworks. I would like to take an example. For me, my doctor essays, I study how the student feel when they study English, and then how they feel self-efficacy. But you know what? My tutor told me, wow, you study the self-efficacy. I don't think it's a good idea because the students, they don't want to tell you they are unhappy to learn this or something. And then I think it's okay. For Chinese students, they think this is okay. So I think the sensitive point is totally different. It is not because Chinese or the Indonesian who is more sensitive. It is not such kind of problem, but their point is quite different. You have to know the point, and then you can do the communication well. So how do you say? I think cultural empathy and the mutual respect, especially the mutual respect, and flexible problem solving across different academic systems is the key for each other. I don't know whether I'm right or wrong, but I think because my work is mainly to deal with those. I have to communicate with the foreigners, not only Indonesian but also Vietnam and some other countries. And I think we have the same problems. Yes.
We do hope that the bureaucracy would not be very difficult for the researchers to conduct their research, yeah?
Yeah.
And then, any other questions from other participants? Yeah, show when a researcher conduct their research that the point of the questions tend to be rather sensitive. It can be very difficult for bureaucracy to optimize the process getting the data, right? And how this is the questions from my own curiosity. How to assess whether the questions, the point on our research turning into a sensitive based on some country's culture, while the researchers do not really understand the local culture in a foreign countries. How to do that?
You're the better to make friends with me. If you have a Chinese friend, yes, if you have a Chinese friend, so making friends with your students, I'm not just like a sister or something. I'm just like a friend of my overseas students. So I can understand their cultural shocks. I can understand and then give them the respect. I think all human beings, they are the same. All human beings are nice, are friendly, and all of us, we wish anyone to have a happy life. But sometimes why they can't? Because they are not obey the rule. They break the rules, or how to say, they don't understand. So this is what I said. You have to be friends first. Yes. Yes.
That's the first step, yeah, the first
Yeah,
way.
because the textbook would never ever tell you, and you cannot experience that kind of feeling, especially embarrassing. You cannot experience it unless you just go through it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So making friends and talk with them, and then if you are friends, you can talk everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very important for all researchers, if you want to conduct your research and you really want to know whether the point of questions in your research is quite sensitive or not, you need to look for friends first from the country you would like to conduct the research. How?
Actually, you can have we say that we have a cooperation, the scholars. You can build some scholarship. For example, if you want to do some research, I mean, I don't know whether in your university you need to publish some papers or something. In my university, it is a yes and a must. Yes, and if you have some such kind of needs and requirements, and then you can ask some scholars in China to cooperate with you, and then both of you two to write the papers together, and then you will discuss everything, and then you will know where is the sensitive point, where you have to avoid, where you have to solve the problem, and you will find a better way to solve them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for your clear answer to give the solutions for my curiosity. Okay,
My conclusion is from the Ibu Wadi, because we have a lot of questions, and then we will communicate freely, and then we will find out, yeah, it is beyond friends. Yes.
Yeah.
Can I have just one short question?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I just wonder, I would like to know how long does it take for your student to able to speak in Indonesia? I mean, like, okay, like sometimes it's a bit difficult between the scientific meeting and just like daily communication. So how long does it take it for them to be able to do daily communication in Indonesia?
You mean my student in China?
Yeah, Chinese student after they taking Indonesian course. So how long does it take it for them normally?
It's seldom, but this year we have a teacher. We have a teacher, and then she organized the students every day to go to the classroom to have at least half hours speaking in Indonesian. If just like what I say, if you give the students task, okay, you can go back home after school. This is your task. You have finished it, and then they just finish it themselves one by one. They don't speak with you. They don't. The language environment is poor. But this semester, a teacher came to our school, and then she changed. She asked all the students to go to the classroom and every day for half hours, at least half hours of speaking. And she will be there. If they don't know we don't know the exact word. We don't know whether what we say is right or wrong. If you don't know, you turn to her, and then she will help you. Yes. We need such kind of teachers.
Thank you. Thank you for your answer.
My pleasure.
Yeah. Any other participants who would like to deliver your questions? For your information, Ibu Jin Xiao, actually our MC, yeah, our MC today, but Iftita, she also conducted the research about the area of Chinese area, yeah, in Semarang.
Yeah.
Would you please tell a bit about that?
Yeah.
While we are waiting for our other participants to deliver their questions.
Mungkin saya jelaskan bahasa Indonesia, lalu Bu Agnes mentranslate begitu. Karena apa ya? Is it about? It is only about a public signs. Public sign in Chinese. What is that? Chinese market. Yeah. Here we called. What is that? Sorry.
Tita's focus is in translations, and if I'm not mistaken, it was about a year ago she conducted the research about the public sites, which is noted in Chinese. What is that? In Chinese sign, yeah. In Chinese sign, and it is in the area of Chinese market in Central Java, in Semarang.
Yeah. And I think actually all the teachers, all the faculties, they have a lot of fears. We have different fears. For example, some we have a lot of fears to cooperate. I mean the research, academic research. Yes. Some of my colleagues, they studied laws. And then yesterday he asked me, is there anyone who can do the laws with me? I know little about the Indonesian laws, but it is quite necessary to compare the Indonesian and Chinese laws. If you can do the Indonesian part and we do the Chinese part, and this is the cooperation.
Yeah.
Yes. maybe we need a
Mungkin
channel
ada yang mau
to
bertanya, boleh pakai
cooperate.
bahasa Indonesia, Mbak Agnes?
Ya, silahkan Bapak Ibu apabila hendak bertanya dalam bahasa Indonesia, kami persilahkan.
Mungkin ada yang mau ditanyakan, Bapak Ibu, monggo. Mumpung ada narasumber kita, barangkali ada kegiatan-kegiatan kerjasama ya. Atau mungkin pengen tanya mengapa di setiap kota di Indonesia ada apa Chinatown ya, pecinan ya. Di Semarang ada pecinan. Ya, berarti kalau tidak ada bisa diakhiri Mbak Agnes mungkin untuk sesi ini.
Bu Wati, can I just one question?
Iya, Ibu. Ya, Mam. Silakan.
So I'm interested to discuss furthermore about the possibility for the collaboration, yeah, between Patimura University through Language Study Center and your institution. So later on, I will give my email address to Ibu Wati, and Ibu Wati will forward to you. So is it possible that later on we can discuss about the possibility to have the collaboration with you, Ibu Jian? That will be my concern, because I think it will be very interesting, and I would like to wider the collaboration. Ibu Wati have been here in Ambon, and I think she knew exactly about our institution. So then we can have that type of collaboration, and we focused on Bahasa Indonesia, and we will see later on what can we do. And one more, we have the journal, yeah, the peer-reviewed journal, and I also would like to later on to discuss with you. You might be one of our reviewer for the future issue, especially in education and language. That will be great if we can discuss more deeper about all those aspects. Is it okay with you, Ibu Jian?
Sure, you can. Do you have my email? Actually, you can write me email if you want to. You want more details.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will send my email to Ibu Wati, and then I will ask your email from Ibu Wati.
Iya.
Okay, thank you.
Oke, Bapak Ibu barangkali kalau nanti akan menghendaki untuk kerjasama bisa menghubungi kami baik itu di adopsi ataupun di APP BIPA Jawa Tengah, dan berharap untuk tahun depan ya kita akan ada visiting lecture lagi ke VPNU ya. Krista, actually I inform that next year we will to arrange for the visiting lecture like the last month to visit your campus and then teaching.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
You can
it's
come
more,
here.
1 year, I think 2 weeks, for the next week. I will preparing for the Crystal or Ibu Jingsao invitation because we have like some winter camp for the student.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I will bring for 5 students from Indonesia and me too. So I will come back to my
Welcome.
second country. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bapak Ibu silakan ya kalau akan ada yang bekerja sama mungkin dari apa yang didiskusikan tadi terpantik penelitian ya. So it's possible, right, Ibu Crystal, if we want to like the collaboration for the research is possible?
You can write me because I don't know the exact details. You can write me,
Sure,
and
sure.
any question we can discuss.
Yes.
You can send me email.
Yeah, and I will actually, you can inform like the ICCI because Indonesia still Scopus minded. And you tell me if you told if in China, not Scopus again, but you have, or the China, you have, I don't know, SCCI, right?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
SSCR's international magazine.
Yeah, but we still using the Scopus, I think. Maybe that we have the inform like the journal and then the article for some research collaboration, also for the visiting lecture, the student or teacher exchange. Maybe bisa menghubungi adopsi dan juga PP Pipa, Bapak Ibu. Silakan nanti kami akan kirimkan begitu ke VPNU of course ya, nanti dengan Ibu Crystal atau dengan The Dean ya, Bapak Huang. Karena kemarin juga ada beberapa kampus yang sudah sign MOA, Unsil, kemudian Udinus, dan mana lagi yang kemarin ya, mungkin 3 kampus ya. So Ibu Crystal, the last month we had 3 campus. We signed the MOA, just only faculty to faculty, not MOU, because MOU is university to university. So we
Yeah.
just MOA. One of them, Ibu Sinta from Universitas Siliwangi, already signed the MOA with Bapak Huang. Lalu ada Ibu Agnes ya, the sign from apa kemarin kampusnya FIB ya, Faculty of Ilmu Budaya ya,
Ya,
the culture
Fakultas Ilmu
science.
Budaya.
Iya, dan satunya mana ya? Saya lupa ya. Ponorogo, I think. Ya, Ponorogo.
Community Faculty.
Ya,
Ya.
we have three university faculty in the university. Jadi Bapak Ibu, bagi yang berkesempatan MOA dulu dengan fakultas, di sini ada the School of Foreign Language. Nanti bisa menghubungi kami, dengan senang hati juga akan kami haturkan untuk bisa berkolaborasi dengan Ibu Crystal karena beliau yang mengurusi overseas ya, mahasiswa internasional. Begitu mungkin dari saya kembalikan ke Bu Agnes.
Nah, terima kasih Ibu Wati atas tambahan informasinya yang sangat jelas dan banyak sekali itu tadi ya. Kesempatan-kesempatan yang terbuka sangat luas untuk berkolaborasi, gandeng research ya, serta publikasi. Apakah ada penanya lagi? Kami masih persilahkan, kita masih memiliki waktu sekitar 9 menit bersama Ibu Jing Xiao.
Iya.
Oh, masih belum ada penanya lagi. Baik, apabila tidak ada penanya.
Ya, mau bertanya, Bu.
Oke, ini izin info membuat info untuk
Tidak Bu, hanya info
Oh
Bu
ya,
Agnes.
oke ya.
Mohon maaf, Bu, izin bertanya. Menggunakan bahasa Indonesia saja, J.
J,
Dari Bu Yuli.
dari
Dari Bu Yuli, dari SMK Bina Nusantara Ungaran.
J,
Mohon tanya, Bu,
silakan Bu.
apakah diperbolehkan kita mengajukan kerjasama dengan misalnya ada program
Dari mana Ibu? Dari sekolah mana Bu?
dari SMK Bina Nusantara. SMK Bina
Atau
Nusantara Ungaran.
SMK Bina Nusantara. Oh,
Oke.
SMK Bina Nusantara. Ibu Xiao,
Ungaran.
Ungaran. Here's one
Oke.
questions from SMK Bina Nusantara Ungaran. The
Oke.
questions is that it allowed to
Untuk
bagaimana
bekerja
Bu?
sama, pembelajaran bahasa Mandarin. Karena
Oh,
kami ada
di levelnya
ekskulnya,
SMK ya. Oh,
Ya.
oke. Iya.
Terima kasih.
Oke. Ibu Jin Xiao,
Yes.
in SMK Bina Nusantara, it is located in the area of Semarang. In this school has extracurricular teaching about Chinese language. And is it possible to have collaborations with the School of Foreign Language?
Sure.
Because the level is in a level of senior high school, not the level of the university. Is it also possible to have the collaborations or cooperations with Fujian Polytechnic Normal University?
Our university, we have schools, but it is not senior school. It is the middle school, the junior school, the
Junior.
junior school. Yeah. But the problem is that in China, because China has its regulations, if the students who is not reach 16 years old and then want to stay in China, they have to someone else to be in China, or I don't know. I will check, but it is not easy because the students was too young. The student is too young, and we were cared a lot about their living, their accommodation, and so on. Yeah.
Okay, that should be
But if
be
short
under
term,
18.
if come
Uh-huh.
here for short term exchange, for short term, for example, they came here just for one semester or something, and then to as an exchange student, I think it is okay.
Mhm. The locations of the exchange students will
Ex
be in that junior high
so
school,
whether the high school,
the high
student,
school.
they want to come here to study Chinese, right? Do you mean
Yeah.
that?
Mhm.
So do they graduate from the high school?
Ibu,
Dalam, J, dalam,
Ibu,
J.
apakah konsepnya yang dikehendaki dalam kerjasamanya itu mengirim siswanya ke sana untuk belajar bahasa Mandarin atau kolaborasi atau kerjasama yang seperti bagaimana, Bu?
Ya, bisa mengirimkan siswa untuk belajar di sana karena kan di Ungaran banyak pabrik nih, pabrik yang memerlukan translator. Mereka persyaratannya biasanya lulusan SMK, semua jurusan dan memiliki sertifikat HSK level 4.
Oh, oke.
Jika yang seperti itu.
Eh, jadi jawaban dari Bu Jin Xiao tadi adalah begini Bu, ya itu memungkinkan untuk bekerja sama antara SMK ya, SMK Bina
Ya,
Nusantara dengan kampusnya sana, tetapi mungkin akan sulit Bu karena kalau usianya itu di bawah usia 18 tahun itu akan membutuhkan perhatian yang lebih ya. Biasanya
oh,
harus ada pendamping ekstra di sana gitu ya. Jadi
ya.
maksudnya eh, untuk siswa yang akan dikirimkan ke sana itu mungkin persyaratannya akan lebih rumit apabila usianya di bawah 18 tahun.
Nah,
Begitu.
ini biasanya kelas 12, Ibu. Jadi
Oh,
18,
12 tahun.
19, antara 18, 19 sampai 20 tahun.
Oh,
Dan
ada yang
sekolah
20 tahun, Bu.
sekolah itu sebenarnya mengizinkan saya mendampingi mereka gitu.
Saya
Oh,
mungkin bisa menengahi ya, Bu.
oh, J.
Jadi,
Iya.
Jadi
Pendamping ini maksudnya bagaimana ini?
Jadi begini, mungkin sorry Ibu Kristal, tell first. Yang pertama, barangkali hal yang bisa dilakukan, yang pertama tadi dari apa yang disampaikan Bu Yuli, mungkin dari Ibu Kristal atau Bapak Ibu dosen yang di Fujian Politeknik menjadi semacam informan native gitu ya, supaya
oke,
itu bisa dijadikan sebagai dengaran langsung karena selama ini Bu Yuli yang mengajar begitu ya atau mungkin
betul,
Bapak Ibu
betul,
guru yang mengajar artinya yang mengajar dari Indonesia to Indonesia. Nah, Bu Yuli itu berharap ada native dari asli penutur jati Mandarin yang akan dikirim atau sukarela begitu ke SMK
ya,
di Ungaran. Itu yang pertama.
betul, betul,
Yang kedua, pengalaman atau yang disampaikan Ibu Kristal tadi, Ibu Yuli, sebetulnya sangat bisa. Level senior high school itu akan pergi ke Fujian Politeknik, tetapi untuk masa kursus atau yang
ya,
besok tanggal 14 itu akan ada
magang,
winter camp. Ya, jadi hanya 1 minggu atau 2 minggu. Tetapi bukan full beasiswa.
ya,
Ya, jadi
ya,
Biasanya tiket itu dari yang bersangkutan. Kemudian kalau di sana ada program, berarti mahasiswa hanya, siswa itu hanya ke fokus tiket dan juga visa itu.
Siap.
Nah,
Nggih.
atau justru malah Ibu Yuli nanti bisa prepare untuk menyiapkan para siswa di SMK Bina ya Ibu,
Bidang Nusantara, nggih.
Bina Nusantara.
Nusantara Ungaran,
Ya.
nggih.
Setelah lulus itu bisa sekolah di kampusnya Ibu Kristal dan itu sepertinya free. Ya.
Oh, amin, amin.
Ya,
Ya,
jadi
siap.
mungkin itu alternatif tiga ya. So Ibu Kristal, is possible if Ibu Yuli a student after they finish for the some
Senior
school,
high school,
senior high school,
profesional.
they can continue in their campus is possible.
You mean they're just for 1 year's language study
No.
Chinese Mandarin.
Not
No,
studies,
no, no.
not Chinese, but they finish for the senior high school, and then they want to take like Dita, like Audrey, like some Indonesian student in your
Great.
campus.
Just to be my overseas students, right?
Yeah, yes,
Okay, yes, overseas.
Yes, and then you ask the students to pass the HSK 4.
Yeah,
There's
HSK-nya
a
ya,
test.
Pak.
Yes, HSK 4 first. And then we will organize an interview, and then if he or she
Okay.
can pass the interview,
yeah.
yes, he can apply
Yeah.
for any major he want.
Iya.
Mohon tanya
Jadi
lagi
Bapak
Bu, untuk
Ibu,
yang besok maksudnya yang ke Cina itu 1 atau 2 minggu itu masih ada tempat enggak? Maksudnya masih ada kursi enggak untuk misal siswa kami ikut? Mungkin biasanya sama
I
kami.
think for the 14 already closed ya, Crystal. It's possible because the visa is already processed. I'm not sure.
Oh,
Karena
oh,
visanya sudah proses kecuali I'm
oh,
not sure Ibu Kristal because Ibu Kristal already invite the ex student ya.
oh.
Depend on Ibu Kristal. Nanti setelah ini bisa
Yes.
kontak. Ya, Ibu Kristal please.
Okay.
Because the students list is enough already.
Yeah.
Because the quota is set. And another thing, it is because the time is in a rush, because it is an international meeting and this is a state program, and we have to prepare before at least almost 1 month. And if now we add the name of the members, and it seems that it is impossible.
Iya.
Time is not allowed.
Maybe
Yeah.
next time ya Ibu Kristal ya.
Oke.
Jadi
Mepet
kalau
ya, terlalu mepet
pengalaman
ini.
kemarin ya nanti Ibu Dwi nggih. Begini, Bapak Ibu yang nanti punya rekomendasi para siswa yang akan melanjutkan di kampus Fujian Politeknik, nanti 1 tahun itu mereka belajar Mandarin dulu, seperti kita BIPA ya. Nah, mereka
Oh, iya.
1 tahun belajar Mandarin, kemudian menempuh tes apa namanya Bu Yuli?
Hanyi
HSK.
Shuiping Kaoshi, HSK 4.
HSK 4. Nah, kalau HSK 4-nya
Yes.
lulus, mereka akan continue kuliah di VPNU. Tapi kalau
Yes.
tidak lulus, kembali dipulangkan ke Indonesia, right? Is back to Indonesia.
Yes.
How
If you
this
pass,
is?
if you pass HSK 5, and then there
Oh,
are
5. Oke, 5
5.
berarti.
There are so
Oh,
many
5.
choices. Yes, 5 is safe.
Oh
Yeah.
ya, 5 dan 6.
Yes. The bottom line is 4. The bottom line is level 4.
Oke.
So like IELTS ya, like IELTS, right?
Oh, oke, betul.
Mungkin seperti
Siap.
IELTS kalau di ini.
Oke.
Ya. Terima
Oke,
kasih Bu
matur
Yuli ya.
nuwun.
Nanti
Oke,
bisa
terima
kita
kasih.
keep kontak lagi
Siap.
nih. Mbak Agnes saya
Siap.
kembalikan ada Bu Dwi
Ya,
ini.
ada penanya lagi dari Ibu Dwi Putri. Kami silahkan Bu Dwi Putri. We still have one questions from Ibu Dwi Putri.
Yes.
Silahkan di on mic Bu. Ibu Dwi Putri, silahkan. Silahkan bisa on mic.
Izin bertanya, Bunda
Ya,
Ibu Irma. Okay. May I?
Suaranya belum terdengar, Bu Dwi Putri.
May I ask?
Oh, sure.
Okay. I'm Dwi Putri from STKI PPGRI Trenggalek. We have cross-cultural understanding subject in my study program.
Good.
Can we invite Miss Jing Xiao as guest lecturer for this subject?
Thank you. Thank you for your invitation. And sure, I know, I really find that today our platform, this is a good place to communicate. If you need more scholars from China to cooperate, no matter for paper writing or even for the works, sometimes they will publish works together. If you need, and then you just tell me what field you are interested in, and maybe I can introduce you more Chinese scholars. Yes. And
Okay.
if I can be trusted, I will join. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we hope so. So we can have more discussions about it. So further, maybe have a collaboration in some terms that we can have with you. We hope so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wah,
Okay, thank you very much.
tawaran-tawarannya
Thank
bermunculan
you.
nih, semakin bermunculan ya. Oke. eh Bu Wati, apakah masih diperbolehkan satu penanya lagi atau sudah ini?
Mungkin ditanyakan ke Ibu Kristal, barangkali beliau akan ada kegiatan lain karena sudah pukul 3.
Ibu Jin Xiao, is it possible for us to have one more question for the audience?
Sure.
Silakan Bapak Ibu, Ibu Krista masih memberikan kesempatan untuk satu pertanyaan lagi.
Mohon izin bertanya, ini terkait dengan MOE dengan FINU Cina.
Dari siapa, Ibu?
Ibu Irma, STKI PPGI Trenggalek.
Oh, iya,
Jadi,
pasti dari Ibu
ya,
Irma ya.
kami
Silakan,
kemarin
Ibu.
mengajukan untuk MOE kepada Ibu Ketua Adopsi, Bu Dr. Wati. Nah, itu nanti masuk di kegiatan ini atau kegiatan yang kemarin ya. Masih belum kami masih perlu menanyakan lebih lanjut. Kemudian jika untuk MOE itu apakah satu program studi ataukah diperkenankan untuk 2 program studi? Mungkin ini pertanyaannya lebih ke Bu Dr. Wati.
Iya, ini ke Ibu Dr. Wati ini pertanyaannya ya.
Untuk semuanya ya nanti.
Terima
Langsung saya
kasih.
jawab. Okay. So, Ibu Kristal, actually the question is for me, but actually I will to answer for us. Jadi begini, Ibu Bapak, yang namanya kerjasama itu kita ada 2 versi. So I inform Ibu Kristal if the collaboration we have bottom to up or top to down. Ya, jadi dari bawah ke atas atau dari atas ke bawah. Bottom to up itu diinisiasi dari prodi Bapak Ibu. Ya, ada prodi 1, prodi 2, prodi 3 bekerja sama dengan kampus yang sama, dengan fakultas yang sama. Kemudian nanti akan naik ke dekanat, fakultas akan naik ke kampus ke universitas. Itu bisa dari bottom to up atau top to down. Top to down is the initiator from the rector, the president first. Yeah. The president or the rector open the collaboration for other faculty, untuk semua fakultas. Fakultas untuk semua prodi. Jadi ada 2 jenis. Kemudian bagaimana ruang lingkup? Ruang lingkupnya kalau yang namanya MOU itu berarti Memorandum of Understanding, biasanya dari U to U, university to university. Nah, tetapi kalau MOA ini satu turun langkah, yaitu Memorandum of Agreement, itu untuk faculty to faculty. Artinya, kalau sudah MOA, more than one study program. Jadi kalau Ibu Irma misalnya atau kemarin dari Siliwangi sudah sign MOA, berarti nanti program studi di fakultas Bapak Ibu itu bisa berkolaborasi. Bergantung MOA itu apa yang akan dikerjasamakan. Usually we have three. Ya, Ibu Krista maybe in the China is same. Number one for to teaching and learning, pengajaran. Number two is for the research, penelitian. And then number three for pengabdian. Itu apa? Pengabdian itu internship. Apa? Community service. Nah, community service. Nah, biasanya ada tiga ini Bapak Ibu. Nah, kemudian di dikti pemerintah yang digunakan itu bukan MOA saja, tapi implementation-nya atau yang biasa kita sebut Implementation of Agreement atau IA. Ya, karena itu nanti yang masuk ke IKU 6. Nah, satu MOA yang sudah dibuat Bapak Ibu akan diturunkan satu, kuliah hari ini, konsorsium. Dua, kemarin misalnya Ibu Irma join misalnya like visiting lecture. Tiga, next time if Ibu Kristal open like for to collaboration menulis ya, to writing handbook or textbook ya, itu nanti juga bisa diimplementasikan. Jadi itu Ibu Irma ya untuk realisasi ya implementasi dari kerjasama. Jadi MOA dulu nanti kita berikan, ini IA bagian subnya. Boleh dari prodi bahasa Indonesia, boleh dari prodi bahasa Inggris ataupun di magister. Begitu Ibu Irma dan Ibu Krista. Indonesia not only for MOU and MOA, we have IA. I don't know IA in your country. Implementation of agreement is like the report. If one program, one letter, one program, one letter.
One contract.
Not contract, not contract, because just only like inform. So like today
Program.
we have IA, and then we just inform if today at the 3rd November we have Kuliah Pakar adopsi, Ibu Jing Xiao, the speaker, and then how many participants, and then what the link for the Zoom, like that.
It's like the proof
Yeah.
that we have already implement the activity which is based on our memorandum of agreement.
I know it is just something like an educational relationship,
Yes.
educational cooperation. Just like exchange of students or exchange of teachers, just like that.
Yeah, it's like that. But in Indonesian regulation, we need to provide such a kind of a proof. Then IA or implementations of agreement is one proof that actually the real activity, which is based on MOA, is already conducted. That's the way.
Actually, the cooperation, there are so many ways, just as what we say, it can also be programs centered. If we have a program and then we can discuss how to cooperate with just one program. But if we can extend more, and then maybe that is the MOU, or just like what you say, MOA, right? Yeah. So it depends on what kind of program.
In our
Artinya
understanding,
mereka nggak ada IA,
yeah. In our understanding, for MOU, the level of MOU is from university to university, and
Right.
MOA is in a level of faculty, and then IA, implementations of agreement, is the proof, which is sub proof as the activity which is based on MOA.
Oh, I
Mhm.
know.
So
Yeah, it is
Maybe
just
maybe
part
after
of the.
after finish that program, I will send you Ibu Crystal, and then you can read.
Mhm.
We can call IA, but I don't know. You can call like some just report from the
Yeah,
seminar,
it's
or
totally
yeah.
similar as a report.
I will
As a
send you. I
report,
will
as
send
a
you.
proof, as a report, a proof that the activity has been done.
Uh,
Uh,
you know, even just as we say, MOU is between the universities, but our school is a public school. In China, the public state school, it is a state school. The state school, the state university is quite different from the private university. Private university, they can make the decision themselves. But for our school, even the, just like what you say, the faculty between the faculty of the foreign language department and some other kind of department, even these two departments, they want to have an MOA. Why we can have an MOA with Ibu Wadi? Because we are familiar with her. And then she gives us a lot of support. And then her school, her university has an MOU with our university, right? So under this framework, it is quite safe, and the dean can sign the MOA with you, right? Yeah. So actually, it depends. In China, if you want to sign something with a department or something, you'd better sign with a university, because a university, it is the, how to say, it cannot be divided into several schools. Although he has this, the university has several schools, but only the university, the president, only the president, he signed his name, and then it is legal. Yeah.
Thank you for your explanations, Ibu Jin Xiao. Bapak Ibu, baik hadirin sekalian, tak terasa ya kita sudah sampai di penghujung acara. Terima kasih sebesar-besarnya kami sampaikan kepada Ibu Jing Xiao atas ilmu dan wawasan yang telah dibagikan. Ibu Jing Xiao, we convey we're really thankful for very insightful informations that you deliver. The material is quite complete, and we learned a lot from you today. And great thank from us. Oke, waktu saya kembalikan kepada Mbak Tita.
Baik, terima kasih Ibu Agnes atas waktu yang telah diberikan kepada saya selaku pewara. Baik, hadirin yang berbahagia, demikianlah seluruh rangkaian acara kuliah pakar pada siang hari ini. Semoga ilmu dan inspirasi yang kita peroleh bersama dapat menumbuhkan semangat baru dalam mengembangkan pelajaran bahasa Indonesia ya untuk penutur asing, kemudian sekaligus mempererat jejaring kolaborasi antar pendidik dan penggiat bahasa di seluruh Indonesia. Saya atas nama panitia mengucapkan terima kasih atas partisipasi Bapak Ibu hadirin sekalian serta rekan-rekan semua. Juga kami mohon maaf apabila ada kata yang kurang berkenan. Kemudian terima kasih kepada Ibu narasumber Ibu Ching Ching. Thank you so much for your insightful presentation, and thank you Ibu Moderator, Ibu Agnes Erlifa. Terima kasih banyak atas waktunya. Kemudian saya Evita Amalia beserta seluruh panitia adopsi dan APP PIPA mohon pamit undur diri. Sampai jumpa di kegiatan berikutnya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you for your
warahmatullahi
time.
wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, bye-bye. Selamat
Thank
siang,
you.
sampai jumpa.
Sampai
Terima
jumpa.
kasih Ibu Kristal. Sheshe.
Cicie.
Terima kasih. Yeah. Terima
See you
kasih.
on
Sampai
14.
jumpa.
Sampai
Sampai
jumpa.
jumpa.
Sampai jumpa.
Bapak
Terima
Ibu izin menutup nggih. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih. So I can leave the room now.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
sure.
may
Thank
leave.
you,
Thank
Kristen.
you.
Okay.